Welcome to this special Epilogue edition of Part 1 of our Space Engineers Piracy Server playthrough. In this episode, we ratchet up our pirate activity in preparation for Part 2 and execute a plan to steal all the jump drives from one of my space engineer neighbors. So having found the base of one of my main aggressors, Feku, I laid a plan to steal just what I needed, and I needed jump drives for my new ship. Being pirates and in preparation for Part 2 of the Piracy Server series, I've decided to not do any more mining. Part 2 will be all attacks, piracy, and trading for what we need. Trading will hopefully include a bit of extortion as well. My plan was this. I'd replace a couple of the drills on my miner. One would be a grinder to grind down the jump drives, and the other would be a welder to weld back the jump drives, minus a couple of key components I was really needing. Mainly the semiconductors that required gold, and probably the metal grids for the cobalt. That plan changed though, as you'll see. What I also did was remove my 2 Gatling turrets from the back of my miner. My hope was that his weapons might only be set to target weapons, in which case I could sneak in, take what I needed, and get out without anyone needing to fire a shot. That was also a false assumption. After taking 3 or 4 direct hits from his artillery cannons, it was time for a new approach. The enemy had ripped completely down one side of my ship, tore a hole completely through from end to end in another area, and had taken out my welder and piston assembly. So the re-welding of blocks was out of the picture. It was time for a more hands-on approach, because the only way I was going to get my big miner in to do its work was to first disable his weapons, by hand, and take over a couple key components to be able to complete my now modified plan. I took control of his projector, just to turn it off, not to destroy it, because the overlaid holographic projection was making it very difficult to see what blocks I'd removed and what was still there, and really just obstructing my vision. couple light armor and conveyor blocks later, the Gatling turrets were disabled. Now, on to the artillery cannons. What should have been a fairly straightforward hide and grind was made extremely more difficult by my nemesis through an array of welders he had positioned to regenerate each gun. The life of a burglar is never as easy as it seems on paper.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Alright, with the artillery turrets disabled, a quick check of the outside seemed to indicate any active threats had been removed. In accordance with the server rules, an attacking player has to do their best to minimize damage to the base. So, not grinding down other weapons that seemed dormant, grinding down the welders and cannons just enough to disable them, all was about as best as I could do. So now it was on to my actual thievery. Having acquired the jump drives from his miner and his large attack vessel, it was time to move on to the inside. This again was a matter of scoping out where the jump drives were and planning a path of least resistance and damage. With the jump drives in hand, I really wanted to try to do an easy siphon for the rest of his semiconductors. I tried for a bit hacking a few key components and attaching the miner to a connector, but it just wasn't working. And I had already been here much longer than I had planned, so I'd have to settle for hand carrying only a portion of them to my ship. You might be wondering why I didn't take them all, and that answer goes back to wanting to do as little hacking and damage as possible. Almost all the cargo container ports were directly attached to a refinery or assembler, and I wasn't going to start grinding down or removing a bunch of key things in what he had in his base. I had what I came for. No need to rob him blind. It was time to get out and start making my way back to my main ship. Well, that felt like a successful heist. Our ship was pretty damaged, but functional. The enemy incurred minimal collateral damage, considering all the defenses, and I think his own guns hit his base while firing at me, and did more damage than I did. But we got what we needed to continue building out our ship, and prepared for what I hope to be part 2 of the Piracy series. Your views, likes, and comments help direct the content of this channel, so let me know if you'd like to see where the story goes next. Till next time, take care and keep your valuables hidden, because you never know when a thief might show up at your doorstep.